What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight. This is season 16, episode 8, Poised for Battle. And for those who are new to my channel, I do detailed reviews on reality shows. I don't hit every single scene. I try to pick out the most important parts and maybe pick out some details that you may have not seen. And as I told you in my intro, I am YouTube's number one commenter. So this channel is all about the comments. I do want you to tap that like button on the way in. I need it. Keep me in the algorithm, keep me going, keep it getting out to other people. But primarily, we here for the comments. It's the best part of the channel. It's one of the best parts of having a channel. And like I said, the model of this channel is say what you say. So say whatever you want about whatever's going on the screen, but just stay respectful to each other in the comments. So let's hop right into this Married at First Sight. Now, normally I've been on a pattern of doing couple by couple, but I've been getting some good feedback on doing like the freestyle or one review or whatever. And I need you in the comments to tell me if that's working. Or I need to go back because I gotta know because I do this for y'all. I don't do it for myself. I could just be in the comments on other people's channels. So you tell me what works, what better, and I go with like the majority. So, we can't please everybody. So let's just hop right into it. We got, I'm gonna be all over the place. So I'm gonna be mixing couples and just sharing what I think. But I take a little jot down, little notes. So let's go to Chris and Nicole. Now we're at Chris and Nicole's. We're at actually Chris's apartment, aka the doggy den. You know, when I saw it, not that it was like atrocious or something like that, but it kind of blew me away when I saw his bed. He looked like he got a queen. It looked like a full bed for real. His dogs jump on that bed. It just looked like their bed. I don't even know where he sleeps. And him, Nicole, and the two dogs I expect to sleep in that bed. I don't think so. He didn't have a headboard. It was up against the corner, I guess, because the dogs have rocked the bed somewhere. I don't know what they do, but the bed was theirs. And again, I cannot imagine being in a home where the dogs are running the show. I don't get that. Like I got two dogs myself, and them hopping in my bed after they've been playing in the woods and the trees and the grass and the dirt and kissing them in the mouth. Dogs eat poop, but okay. Some people are okay with that. It's not for me to understand, but it's kind of hard for me to wrap around because I'm going to go into a little rant about dogs. Now it's a different day with dogs. I'm gonna go with even though we talking about Chris and Nicole, to what let's jump on to what Dominique said. She's like, to me, dogs are more like a benefit. And granted, I get it that somebody's loyal to you, gives you love, they become a part of your family, and they live a limited amount of time. However, I just don't see that them and we treat them as say people dog lovers, dog parents. They treat them as children. I don't give my children will never have give them the run of the house. There are boundaries. You can't do what you want in my house, especially if you play in the grass, in the dirt, and you can't get on my couch, in my bed, and all that kind of stuff. That's just me because I come from an era where dogs they weren't even a benefit. They were there to get along. They didn't complain about nothing. They didn't need to go to a doctor unless there was an accident or something. Them dogs were the most low maintenance, go along, go with, because they knew in a second they could be gone. Why? Because back then you didn't pay $1,500 for a dog. You got a dog for free. Or it's just they happened to come into your family and they ate whatever you fed them. You was in a room, they were quiet. They just wanted to go with the flow and they wanted to be around. Matter of fact, we had big dogs. My dog slept outside. But I'm not going to go into my story. It's just that the dog thing is like blowing my mind because Nicole even said like, hey, um, our marriage was dependent on our dogs getting together. I guess granted that they're treating the dogs like their children. So if your kids don't get along with the new stepdaddy or stepmama, it's a no-go. But I don't see it. Like at this point, if you're doing married at first sight, you shouldn't come in the marriage with baggage or dogs. I'm not calling dogs baggage, so I don't want to hit people, but I'm gonna say what I say for real. So anyway, it just had to do with my little dog rant because it's a new world we living in, and I guess we gotta adjust. But that position is not for me. But the thing is, what kind of the dog blew me away. Nicole and Chris got to their shared apartment, and Chris drops a bomb on Nicole. It's funny. Like I guess when people say things that make sense to them, they say it rational and calm, and Chris was more like, well, I was thinking like both our leases up at the same time, so probably we should renew them or whatever because we don't know how this thing is going to work or whatever. And I'm thinking like when Nicole, this was like a Justin and whatever the girl name was. Like I didn't gave my dog up. She didn't give her dog up. She got her father watching the dog. I'm being away from my dog to bring your two dogs in, and you unsure about us. I kind of get it now. It's like I'm making a sacrifice for you, and it just seems like it's all about you. So now you come in the mindset, this is temporary. If that's the case, we might as well just live in our own spaces and just come to the shared apartment when we feel like it. And Nicole ain't with it. She just feel like it's dating at this point. But to me, she's kind of going in her old ways, I guess, being quiet at times when she's so vocal, and that really surprised me. But I mean, it made sense to Chris, like, yeah, let's just renew your lease for 9 months and 9 days. Like, where did that come from? Okay, 9 months. What's so special about a 9 months? And then maybe we can, if it all goes well, we can pick a place. I don't want to feel homeless I'm like this lady bent over backwards to accommodate you. You could see, even though she's supposed to say it, you could see she's bothered by it. But it's all about what he want to do, and she just went along with it. But again, if she don't say nothing, he don't know because he's like living in his own head, and it's about her. So let's just go to. You notice how like when Chris talks about uncomfortable things, he get the blinking and blinking. That's like some little nervous condition or something. He's a little weirdo, but let's keep going. Let's go into Shaq and Kirsten. Let's touch on them. Now, Shaq went to Kirsten's apartment, and like he was blown away. He didn't like Woody, so he got stressed out not by what she had in her apartment, by the lack of stuff of what Kirsten had in her apartment. I'm like, what is this guy? An interior decorator? Like he was stressing like the way she was hanging her clothes, where her shoes at. She didn't have no pretty pictures on the walls of flowers like he got. It just blew him away. So Kirsten, she says she's a self-proclaimed minimalist, and I'm okay with that. I mean, you got your own spot. You don't want a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's because you ain't got no money or you don't take the time to do it, or you're just a minimalist. I thought that was fine. Her apartment was clean. It was enough room for two. Okay, what's the issue? Everybody doesn't do things the same way, but everybody got their little pet peeves, and that was definitely Shaq. But they actually got a visit from Pastor Cal. All the couples did. And, Pastor Cal was like really on Shaq's side with this stuff. He was like, yeah, it's okay to be corny. My wife thinks I'm corny too and all that. And I get why Kirsten don't want Shaq to joke all the time, because sometimes any joking matter. I'm even going to the times when she was struggling with the bags and he didn't help her. He wanted a videotape of that young mindset. But that's fine. It's the thing that what I do have a problem with Kirsten, that she's asking something of Shaq that she's not willing to give herself. She wants to connect with him emotionally and be more serious or talk about things, but she doesn't even want to talk about herself. Shaq says like, hey, I do all the talking about me, and she still kind of diverts back to me, and we keep talking about me. And that's the thing. How can you ask something that you're not willing to give? So, I don't know. And then, like this episode, I had a couple of jaw droppers, with Chris when he's talking about, I don't want to live together or whatever, that crap. And this was a jaw dropper. Kirsten said like, hey, me and Shaq have no chemistry. I'm like, did you say that to that man right then and there? And Shaq was like, nah, I disagree. And I'm thinking like, Shaq, she told you y'all don't have any chemistry. And Shaq like, well, listen, um, we snuggle and cuddle. I kiss her on the forehead, and I'm thinking, Shaq, you think she really liked that or enjoy that? I believe that that's her being performative, or she don't see it as so intimate, like getting hugs and snuggles or whatever. But she clearly communicated to you that, hey, we have no chemistry. Believe her. She told you. But they gonna try to they gonna try to sell it. But what I really like Pastor Cal for the most part on all the couples, maybe one and a half situations. I agree with Pastor Cal. He pretty much told Kirsten like you can't say out your mouth, and sometimes men and women do this, but it tends to be a woman where a woman will say, well, like, you're supposed to know what I'm feeling. Like, no, especially with two people just meeting each other. You're not even tuned to even be close to that. So the fact of the matter is she wants Shaquille to know stuff that she's not telling him. Pastor Cal's like, no, you have to clearly communicate your wants, your needs, or things you got problems with. The man can't read your mind. Like, that was absolutely ridiculous. But men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So let's go to another troubled couple. Let's go to Mac and Dom. And Mac is seeing Dominique's apartment for the first time. And Mac just comes off like super pouty and upset. He has a problem with Dom. I guess he didn't get that feeling that she was proud or okay with him living in the corner of a basement of his friend's parents' house. And again, I would be concerned with Dom as she was too. Like, okay, like, you're good with this? Like, we're good with this? And, you know, Dom is trying to be hospitable about Mac looking around the apartment. Like, help yourself, look around. And Mac, like, you didn't really look at my stuff, so I don't really want to look at yours. Like, he's been a total girl on this one, and it's like crazy. He's like passive aggressive, like, I'm just the biggest loser. I live in my friend's basement apartment. Like, I'm like Dom. I'm not even a fan of Dom, but I could not stand Mac for 2 seconds. Like, I get it. They put them together because they're probably on the same maturity level, even though Dom is an old soul at 25. They probably at the same maturity level, and Mac is really showing it, and it's absolutely ridiculous that like she got to put up with that. And I'm just thinking, like, this guy sucks the energy out of the room. I can only imagine what he don't do on camera, and um, I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't see it. And the thing is, like, when they had a meeting with Pastor Cal, like, Pastor Cal kind of put it to them like, well, like, you are what each other asked for or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, not Dominique, because her mother filled out her application. So she probably don't even know what's on the application. But she seemed like she did. She's like, I wanted somebody who was outgoing, who was established. And Pascal, like, this man's established. He got he got his business going on. And Pascal kind of made a smirk. I don't know if Mac is some secret millionaire or whatever. He might be. I don't believe in conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff. However, it doesn't matter if Mac is worth $10.2 million. The fact of the matter is that he moved there like with no plan. This is the first time he moved, and Dominique is she's concerned about that. She don't want to move away from her mama, her comfort zone, from a guy who has no ties in Nashville. He's like a nomad, so like she should be concerned. Pascal, like, so what? Like, Pascal, y'all may have all the inside job, but this lady don't know this man. This man could pack up and leave at any time, or this man could say, "Listen, we moving to um, California," and she don't want to move to California. He has no roots there for real, and that's a problem. That is a problem. So Pastor Cal wasn't right on that sense, but the fact of the matter, he was just like, they kind of they going tit for tat about things or whatever, and yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it working. And pretty much, at the end of their conversation, Dominique was like, "I'm done," And we're like, we're done. You're done with the situation. You're done with the marriage. What's going on? But Pastor Cal, no, he knows it's for real. Let's go to situation with Gina and Clint. Now, in this situation, I'm really disappointed with Gina. I saw like high hopes for her. I thought she was a positive person. I thought she was ready. I thought she was willing to do what it takes to be married. But what I'm getting, because she doesn't express herself a whole lot in certain situations, she'll be like, yeah, yeah, when she shuts down. Is the fact that matter is I don't think she ever liked Clint from the beginning. I was trying to guess it before, but I just really feel like, yeah, she might have been offended by the slender and athletic thing. You know, she kind of went into like the straight defense mode with that, because she was like, oh well, hey, I am athletic. I go to gym 8 days out the week or whatever, and she's so in it. And what's not athletic about me? Like, being an athlete doesn't mean you don't work out. It's like Clint tried to explain. It's an athletic build. Flat stomach. Tight butt, or strong arms, not jiggly. So she got to prove her case. Well, I'll run your A in the gym and all that, and I'll do this and do that. Like, I am athletic. I go, okay. I thought you were so busy running salons. You got time to go to the gym and be athletic or whatever. But obviously, there's some big insecurities there about her body, because like it kind of got to a thing where both of them was like, oh, I'm not attractive, but especially Gina. Nobody said that anybody was ugly, but I did say that Gina said Ginger was ugly. But the fact of the matter is, it's just they're both offended. Clint is just playing more so the nice guy, because that's why he kind of put those features out there. I don't think he would have put that out there first, because Pascal like shut it down. Like, what? How does it make sense for a person you don't know to jump in and say, "This is what I don't like about you"? Like, how does that work? How do y'all get off on a good foot like that? You don't. You don't. Like, who made up that brutally honest crap? Like, that makes sense. Like, yeah, so many people in this world are liars. So honesty is refreshing, but you cannot be brutal when you talk to people. Everybody has feelings, whether they want to admit it or not. So, yeah, it's like it's more so a lost hope. And I don't think she's ever gotten over that comment, because she has some issues. Because I remember that she actually used to be larger than she was. So I know that's a thing for her. That's a self-esteem thing for her. And at this point now, she's crying and just saying like she's not comfortable. I'm not comfortable living in the second room that you designed when we have problems. I think if we be away from each other, it'll still work. Pastor Cal couldn't even sign her up for that. Like, she ain't buying that. She don't want to live with Clint. She don't want to be by him. She's only doing it out of obligation. I guess maybe to keep her contract in place, maybe to get more bidders for when she leaves the show, but she would definitely not say yes to Clint. But she's like, yeah, I'm willing to make it work, because Clint seems to be all in and like he wants to make it work. I don't know if it's because it's Gina or he just don't want to lose. But I don't see it for them. Like I said, the only people I really see it for is Nicole and Chris, and not that it's a healthy relationship. I just believe Nicole will do absolutely anything for Chris to make it work. It's not so much Chris. Whoever they gave her to, she would have signed up. Who she signed up to, she's gonna make it work no matter what. So let's go to Harrison and Jasmine now. She visits no, Eris visits Jasmine home. She actually lives with her mother or parents. And I really think it's a double standard, because if it was a guy, it would be an issue or anything like that. But it's a woman, so they're gonna go easy on her and not say like, how do you live with your parents with 20 puppies and all that kind of stuff. But how awkward is it that like you're giving a tour to your home and somebody don't like you, they're not attracted to you? Like, that's gotta be a hard job. I know people say, well, you know what you signed up for. Like, I do expect the person I signed up for to want to make the marriage work and not just go off of my looks and say like, oh, I'm just not into you. And It was something. We got to meet one of the little golden doodles. She had the puppies. I don't know why I pictured little slimy, smelly, dirty puppies that was blind and you know making a whole lot of noise. These puppies was cute, and they're definitely going to sell, and I'm sure they make a nice amount of change. And even Eris was in like, oh, this puppy ain't so bad. I would let this puppy be in the bed with me because the puppy was cute. He massaging the puppy like they're about to take the eyes out and just keep rubbing. He hadn't had a lot of experience with dogs, but yeah, it kind of changes perspective on him. But what has not changed is he's still not attracted to Jasmine at all in real life. Now he'll use the politically correct words like when Pastor Cal was there and saying like, "Hey, she's a very, very attractive woman," but and Jasmine like, "Yeah, I'm just not his type," kind of, because it's painful and hurtful to hear because even Pastor Cal asked Jasmine what did she think of him at the wedding, and she was like, "Yeah, I was into him, and he was attractive and all that." I'm like, "Yeah, he was easy on the eyes." I hate that saying, but they never asked Eris what he thought when he saw her. What we was gonna talk about the bottom row, but he was clapping when he saw her. But what does that mean? Like, I don't think Eris is genuine, and he don't like her. I don't care what you do. Get Jasmine a BBL and fix the bottom row. Maybe that'll get him, but he don't want her and he's forcing it. And I like what Pastor Kel tried to do. He was like, "Hey, we'll kind of focus on the qualities that you like about her." And to me, people may see it a different way, but I saw it as like he likes like what she does as a person. Like she's got a lot of jobs. She's a go getter. She runs the puppy stuff and all that. She's into kids. Not like, oh, she's very kind. She's sweet. She's funny. She's nice. None of that kind of stuff. She 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 builds wooden decks, stuff like that. No. What about her? But that's the best we could get out of it. And I just don't. Again, I don't see Eris like even fully trying. I think he wants somebody more like Kirsten. He wants to look. He's not really trying to get to know the person, if you will. So, good luck to that. Good luck to that couple. Now, I would say with Pastor Cal, him being him, like I said, him being off. He was off. Like I said, he was definitely off with like Mac and Dom. Like Dominique shouldn't have any concerns at all about Mac being a nomad and moving around or anything like that. But I'm kind of thinking I got the feeling with like him trying to sell Jasmine to Eris. I didn't like that either. It was more so like she's trying to get to a prize, and because the way he even spoke of talking about, well, my wife's way more attractive to me, and I'm just not feeling that way. I'm feeling guilty. Like it's gotta be like a two-way kind of thing. I thought he did his job for the most part, but it's just not gonna work at all because the fact of the matter is we got couples who don't feel like they're matched up properly or they didn't get what they want, and nobody's like willing to do the work. But like in closing, I really enjoyed when Pastor Cal um, said that because this can apply to all the couples. So I'm gonna just say it just to all the couples in marriage. If you're not willing to make the changes, make sacrifices, you don't want to be married because that's what it is. I think people are still buying into that dream that marriage is this beautiful fairy tale that brings you happiness and joy every day and all that. Because in real life, it's not about being happy. And I know that sounds crazy for especially people who aren't married. No, no. It's like what Pastor Cal said. Marriage is about sacrifice. It makes you into a better person when you are selfless and putting uh, other other person's needs in front of yours, and you get joy from that by giving those sacrifices, making them happy, and it's supposed to be a two-way street, not just one person doing it. Y'all supposed to be focusing on each other's needs, and giving of yourself. It's supposed to change you as a person, make you a better person, put you at a higher level, but again, they've sold a dreams, fairy tales. Every day is wonderful and sweet and perfect. But sorry, it's not. And that's what I think people are running into here. So that's about it. That's about all I have. Drop down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Something I missed. Something you want to add. Do you like me doing one review, or you want me to go back to doing couple by couple? Let's get in the comments and talk about it. And as I always tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.